Is LinkedIn worth it for marketing? Heck yes. Next video. Oh wait, you want to learn more? All right, we got you covered. I'm LizJSimpson, founder of the Big Money Movement, accompanied by
Cheryl Parks
and Heather Petherick.
They are our esteemed coaches here at the Big Money Movement, and we love talking about LinkedIn. We think LinkedIn is a gold mine. You know, if you don't want to use it, quite frankly, more opportunity for us. No, we're absolutely happy to share the knowledge. So Heather, I'm going to kick it to you. Let's talk about some points of why LinkedIn's so great for marketing.
Okay. Just riddle me this.
Ooh.
There are some estimated 830 million user profiles on LinkedIn. So if someone says, I don't know if my buyer is in this platform, I'm going to say, really?
Right.
The other thing that really makes me perk up my ears is that the average annual income of a user profile is over $110,000 US dollars.
Right.
So talking about where the money is,
Yes.
the size of the opportunity. So over 830 million profiles, and on average, those profiles belong to people making a really healthy salary. These are key decision makers, leaders, managers, directors inside of large organizations around the globe.
Right.
So if you are looking to land 5- and 6-figure corporate contracts, you cannot ignore this opportunity that is LinkedIn.
I agree. Can I just underscore with that? You know, not only are they there, but they're self-identifying.
Yes.
Right. So you don't have to guess, this is my corporate buyer or what role, you know. So these same people might be on Instagram, but you don't know from their Instagram profile, right? What their role is in an organization. So with LinkedIn, it's like they're there and they're self-identifying by role.
That's such a great point. We can't step over. It's their business card.
Right.
It is their professional profile that tells you their experience, their authority, their decision-making level inside of their organization. It is truly a gift of the digital age.
It really is.
It truly is. And when we're talking about marketing, I want to anchor this too. When we talk about marketing, the aim of marketing is to go where your buyers are. You play where the pond is, right? It's like, where's the stocked pond? Let me go there, right? And so when we're talking about this, it's like LinkedIn is an area where you know who individuals are, you know what their roles are, you know what their aims or ambitions are by the content they put out there. And so it's just positioning yourself where the stocked pond is. I love it. Cheryl, what about you? What are your thoughts?
So I have to point out that 84% of executive buyers actually turn to LinkedIn to make decisions for their businesses.
Yes.
So if you couple it with what you just mentioned about 830 million people on LinkedIn with profiles that are self-identified, this is a phenomenal place to spend your time and energy so that you can get a return on your investment of time and energy. The other thing that I would point out is, and this is where there's such a large spread, only 1% of LinkedIn users are actually on there posting consistently.
Okay, right. 1%.
This is crazy.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
There's such a huge opportunity for you to be there posting consistently and creating your own blue ocean.
Yes.
Where your buyers can actually self-select, get educated on what you do, the transformation results and outcomes you provide, and you can just literally create your own personal branding and your own platform.
Yeah.
Without running the risk of being in such a highly competitive area.
Absolutely.
I said 1% of users.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing because we, you know, in the Big Money Movement, we help women entrepreneurs land corporate clients. And so often when many of the women come in and they're on other platforms, right? And there's no shame there, right? That's the place they're at. And they're wondering the value of marketing on LinkedIn. And when we talk about, it's like, okay, you want to work with organizations. Where else can you go that you can have access to executive buyers, you know who they work for, you know what their role is, you get to have insight into what's top of mind for them based off of what content they engage with, what content they share, what content they publish, and then you then can position yourself as a thought leader and have direct what I call contiguity, right? So I can associate myself with their industry or the problem that they're concerned about simply by what I publish on the platform. And because only 1% of people are publishing consistently, it doesn't take long for me to stand out.
Yeah, and
right?
dominate. Yes.
Right.
What I love about the marketing of LinkedIn are what I call like the sprints versus the marathons, right? And so I believe like publishing consistently is like a marathon to me. It's right, I'm going to plant seeds and I'm kind of going in the passenger seat a little bit. It's like I'm just being a good steward and I'm just sowing my royal oats. I don't know why I thought of Coming to America and Eddie Murphy, but I'm like sowing my royal oats and I'm just putting all of this thought leadership out there and, hopefully I'm adding value to people's lives. And I trust that karma will bring back some opportunities along the way, right? And because there are not a lot of people who are consistent, the thing about consistency is consistency builds trust.
Yeah.
Right? And so because a lot of people aren't consistent, they may not have the trust factor or have earned the trust from the marketplace in that same way. So I'm doing that. That's my marathon. I know that I'm going to reap some rewards from that. But also conversely, I can focus on sprints. And sprints are where I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to jump in the driver's seat. And I'm going to strategically and intentionally build relationships with people that I know that, one, I can add value to them, but also they can add value to my life as well, right? I love, we talk a lot about Bob Berg, the go-giver, like give, get, right? Or Stephen Covey, I love it. He talks about in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People of how you should treat relationships like a bank account.
Yes,
and you need to make deposits, right? You have to make deposits into that account before you can make withdrawals. And so the beauty of LinkedIn when it comes to marketing, you can also say, oh, okay, here's my list of potential buyers. How can we invite them to an executive roundtable or a marketing event? Or how can we share insights or white papers with them and then ask them or invite them to a conversation based off of that deposit, right? So it gives you like that sprint and that marathon.
Yes. No, really, there's nowhere else on like in the digital space where we can find this concentration and this ease of identifying our ideal buyer and the proximity, the ease of access we have through the LinkedIn platform. It really, and the one thing that I think we forget sometimes is that
I know where you're going.
It's free.
Right.
It's free. So in terms of stretching your marketing investment and getting a great ROI, I'm not sure there's any other tool that offers a greater ROI.
I agree.
One of the other things I want to talk about in this space that I think we overlook is the ability we have to get into the minds of our buyers. When we know what to look for, if we've identified as a key decision maker on a LinkedIn profile, we can study their profile and learn so much about them, what they're posting in terms of content, how they're engaging or what they're saying in response to other people's posts and comments. We really can understand the psychology of this buyer, what their core values are, and even how they communicate. And that is all gold when it comes to reaching out and engaging them in a conversation that will lead to further business opportunities. I don't want to forget about that piece. We can really become a fly on the wall if we know what to watch for and understand our buyer at a level that I don't know that's available elsewhere.
Yeah.
I like that is such gold. I think especially for small business owners, when they think of marketing, it's a lot of what am I doing? Let me hurry up and take action. Let me throw something out in the marketplace. And it's like, part of marketing is listening, right? Social listening, paying attention to what's happening in the market. So I love that you're saying that, hey, even if initially or consistently, sporadically, having that ability to listen to what's happening in the market. And to your point, not only are there the profiles of the buyers, but of the companies as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So you can get insights into what are the individual brands, leaders, or employees within the organization talking about, but also what the company wants you to know about them.
Yes.
What's happening with their reports or initiatives. Like it gives you so much insight, which is gold in order to market effectively to them. I think that's powerful. What do you think, Cheryl?
I think we would be remiss if we don't also include along the same lines, I've run across buyer profiles that actually, where they say that this major corporation, I won't call it out, we are very interested in working with women and small business owners, right? Here's my email if you'd like to be in touch.
Yes, please sell to me.
Yes.
Right? So there are buyers out here that are literally aligning with what's going on in the market in this era and they're interested in being in touch, but they're not going to come out and find you. You're going to do your work. It's a little bit of a treasure hunt, but it is there for the picking.
Speaking of treasure hunt, let's also talk about when we know what to look for. One of the things we talk about inside of the big money movement to help our individuals land 6- and 5-figure corporate contracts is trigger events, right?
Yes.
And trigger events leave footprints on the LinkedIn platform.
Yes.
When an individual changes organizations, when there's a change in leadership or change in management, those are often the perfect opportunity for many of our members to introduce themselves or talk to the new leader about what are their initiatives and priorities. Or if it's not a change in leadership, maybe it might be an announcement of a company's major new initiative.
Right.
If it aligns with a member's service offering, perfect timing. So trigger events are another huge opportunity that often gets missed and overlooked in the LinkedIn profile. And our members learn how to identify those.
100%. Look, okay, so this is gold. I think we have sold LinkedIn. Cut us the check, LinkedIn, right? Like we have officially sold it, but we're not done. We're going to tell you how to effectively market on LinkedIn. So now that you see that it's valuable, let's get deeper into those tactics and strategies to be effective on the platform. Click the next video. We'll see you there. Bye.